Is that working now? Yep. Hi. I'm Aura mostly, and I'm the host of Collective Mind, and we are back, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Hey Cosma. Hey Comorbidity. I like that. That's a cool name. I've made a good amount of progress on my temperature scarf since I last did it for a live stream. I also have a really cool cosmic lighting thing behind me that we got, and I was gonna keep working on this. I just started the fall section because I'm still behind on it. So starting here with the red is the fall section. I've used 3 of the 4 colors so far, so we'll see if I work on any days today that are cold enough to use the 4th color or not. But let's see what color the next day is. Oops. Next one is that pink shade again. Hi Michael, how is everyone? I don't know how many of you are in the US or not, or otherwise do or don't celebrate the holiday, but does anybody have any fun plans or anything? Even if it's not for the holiday. I'm probably going to be calling some family later. For my part. Can't eat over a phone call, unfortunately, but that's okay. I don't know that it's ever really been that big of a holiday for us, personally. But this might be the first year where it feels like we're really not doing anything for it. Oh yeah, Black Friday is coming up too. Although I've been seeing a lot of people say that the sales aren't very good this year, but I bet that depends on where you're looking. Like part of the world probably, but also especially like what store. And I'm hoping these earlier times will be more doable for us to hopefully not have to cancel streams as much, because we made some good progress on our sleep schedule, so the time of day where we have like the best energy and stuff has shifted earlier than before. So we'll see if this goes better. I'm really glad you like the lights and the scarf. Yeah, I think it's the first time we've ever tried to do any kind of like temperature themed thing like this where we do the colors based on the temperature of that day. We've been very behind on it for a long time, but we made a lot of progress on it the past couple days. We have a Patreon exclusive vlog that we usually work on it there the most. And so we'll film like time lapses while we watch TV or whatever, and then put some music behind it or do a voiceover or something, and we speed it up and stuff for the vlog. So we did a bunch of that the past couple days, which helped us get back into the vlog because we had not filmed any vlog clips for a little while either. But we are starting to get back on top of things a little bit, I hope. Nice. Yeah, we got the light projector thing on a pretty good sale, and a special pillow that's like better for the way we sleep and stuff, which I already do think is helping a lot with my neck pain, which I'm really happy about. I don't know if they were technically early Black Friday sales or just like general sales, but I was really excited when I saw that, because I'd been seeing a lot of stuff about the light projector, and I thought it would be really good for the background because we have kind of like a cosmic space type theme in a lot of ways anyway. What I do for time lapses is I take Charlie Cam, the camera that's pointed at our dog currently, who I think might have already fallen asleep. We take that and we point it at my lap basically, so the amount of it that's not in like the normal main frame can be seen anyway. And I think it's been a pretty good solution for working on catching up on the vlog, because a lot of the knitting and crocheting that we do anyway is while we're watching something. So being able to do it in a time-lapse format lets me watch something and not have to also be able to focus on talking and have enough stuff to talk about, and then I can just speed it up. And I think it's probably pretty satisfying to watch, at least I hope it is. Because you can see it growing as I work on it, and then I like have a little text thing on the screen that I update that says what day it currently is as I'm filming the time lapse, what date the next season changes, or now that I'm on fall, what's the last day of the scarf. And then I put the first like the date of the first row that I did, the start of the time lapse, and the date of the last row that I did, so you can see how much I accomplished and stuff. And it's a nice, like, lower pressure thing that I can do even if I'm not doing very good generally and stuff like that. That's interesting that it goes for a whole week. I know we have Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and I've been seeing a lot of places say that they're doing early Black Friday sales, like I said. So I don't know if those places are just starting their sales earlier and having the sales be the same through Black Friday, or maybe even through Cyber Monday, or if they have early ones and then the ones actually on Black Friday or maybe for that whole weekend are like bigger sales. I don't know. I don't have enough available money to do a bunch of shopping, so I haven't looked into it a bunch personally. That's just high enough for orange. So I get to switch colors. I think this is like a perfect, like, pumpkin orange. I like it a lot. The other thing that's nice about working on this for like vlogs or streams or whatever when I don't feel great is because it's for me and not like for Etsy or anything like that, and it's very repetitive and stuff. If I like, I don't have to focus on it a ton, and I don't have to worry that much that I'm gonna like mess up the pattern or anything because I'm not focusing better, because I don't have a deadline really because it's for me, and I can decide if I make a mistake, if I even care that I made the mistake. So I don't have to like be focusing very well to be able to work on it, I guess. Oh yeah, for sure. That's why I was so excited when I saw there was a sale on the light projector thing, because I thought it was such a good idea for our streams and videos and stuff to have something like that in the background. But we can only do like a couple smaller things like that a month, I guess, with our budget currently. Oh, I didn't check the next temperature yet, so I don't know if I'm changing colors. Nope, still orange. But yeah, I'm sure I will at least glance at like our wish list, for instance, and see if there's any big enough sales that would be doable for us to get on those types of things. Oh yeah, it can definitely be hard not to buy stuff that you don't need when there's big sales and stuff like Black Friday. That's part of why I'm not looking at like what the sales are a bunch. Um because I know I would get really excited about things that I wanted that uh if they were on a big sale and things like that. And looking at a bunch of those things would make it harder not to buy any, or not to buy too many at least. That's why looking at stuff that we already put on the wish list and seeing if there's big sale on any of those would be really smart, because I have already thought through like uh how that thing would be helpful for us and stuff. Yeah. Um some of them are like somewhere in between. Like a lot of the things uh are like accommodations, for instance, that aren't necessarily immediate needs but would be extremely helpful. Or like getting a better quality version of something. Um, but that's also going to include things like if we order food instead of like getting groceries and making food, which is usually cheaper. But some of those get kind of tricky in terms of calling them like a need versus a want. Because like food is obviously a need, but that exact food might not have been. But if we were behind on groceries and couldn't make anything with what we already had and needed to eat, like, see what I mean? Like, actually, a great example of something that I recently uh, was able to get off of our wish list was a shower chair, which helps a ridiculous amount with our physical disabilities. Or disabilities. Our physical disability. I'm so used to saying that plural with our disabilities in general. Um, and I think it would be fair to call that a necessity, but it was also like technically I was getting by without it, but it makes me like on a day where I shower, I can also do other things on that day, and that it's not like putting me in a flare up for at least the rest of the day, which obviously is a huge quality of life improvement. Hey, Grace. And like a lot of stuff for our mental health in general can have like a similarly significant impact on our overall quality of life, but isn't like a literal survival absolute necessity. Like it's not life or death, you know? But that doesn't mean that it's not like really important and helpful and would make a huge difference. But at the same time, we can't prioritize those things over like rent, obviously. So but I don't worry as much about separating things by like whether it's a need or a want. Like that exact distinction I don't find as helpful as some other ones, because one of the more helpful distinctions is if something is a different level of time sensitive. Because even if I treat all of them as needs, groceries and rent and things like that are a different level of time sensitive of a need than mental health things in a lot of cases, you know? Like getting clothes or jewelry or things for specific altars to express themselves and feel more comfortable, that could have like a really huge impact on their mental health and our overall well-being and stuff like that, still has a different like urgency to it and different level of consequences to like waiting on it for a little bit, you know, than like missing a rent payment would be. And there's also stuff where like you brought up computers in your most recent comment, Cosma. Um some of that is also complicated by like my job. I I can't do any component of my business without a computer. So things like that I categorize to some extent separately. Um I'm trying to currently only use business income like from Patreon and things like that. Twitch, whatever, for business purchases, since I don't currently have any like big business purchases I need to make. So I'm trying to only use that for even like if I were buying a new game to play on stream or um, yarn for our Etsy or things like that, uh, I'm trying to keep that separate. And there are definitely things that have different level of consequences to not doing them, but I still think it can be fair to call a lot of things needs, even if they have different levels of consequences and like urgency. And I think it helps us somewhat not to like default as much to like absolute survival mode where we don't take care of any of our like less urgent needs. Especially because a lot of those things do eventually become urgent needs. Like if we don't maintain, for instance, our mental health enough for long enough, it can become very urgent and like force itself to be highest priority. Same if you like neglect smaller like health issues and stuff like that. If we don't take care of, even if that health issue clearly isn't life or death right now, if it just keeps getting worse because I don't go get whatever antibiotic or something I need in the meantime because I don't think it's like a real need until it's that like crisis level necessity, that's a problem. So I think it's better for us to not worry as much about distinguishing between needs and wants and worry more about like the consequences and the urgency, but to like allow ourselves to prioritize things that we need that aren't crisis level survival mode type needs, you know? Because like I need to eat even before I'm on the brink of starvation, you know? I keep forgetting what like step of it I'm on. Like if I have looked up the temperature for the next day or not, or if I looked it up but didn't actually do the row yet. I don't think I've actually messed it up yet, thankfully, but is that high enough? Yes, that's gonna be a red row. Here's the red. It's the first row of red since the start of the stream. And like there is absolutely a time and a place for a survival mode mindset, but it's really important for us when we can to not be in a survival mode mindset when the situation doesn't call for it, because it makes us not take care of ourselves and all kinds of other problems. Love this song, but I don't think it's right for this station. But I might finish it before I thumbs it down. Roll on 25. But yeah, the extra little cushion in our budget is also for things that we might just like forget to budget for or that don't come up frequently enough for it to make sense for us to put it in like a monthly budget. So we put the predictable like bills that like we know how much rent is going to be every month and stuff like that. We put those on there. The things that we need to make sure that like we have a little money set aside for if Charlie needs to go to the vet, even for normal checkup stuff or for her food or things like that. But then the cushion is for some fun things, some of those like in between type necessities that I was talking about, but also things like shampoo, laundry detergent that we just like don't have to buy often enough to have a whole budget section of that separated right now. Or if we did, it would be the type of thing where like it was in a separate category, but then if we didn't need to use all of it that month, then we could spend the extra on whatever like wish list type things. Yeah, I agree that I hope survival mode never needs to last very long. But at the same time, PTSD often involves continuing to be in survival mode even if the like threat is gone. So that's part of why we try to find things like this that can help to not like trigger us into that mindset as easily, you know? And it's like even some kind of small mindset things, but that can have a really big impact. Like, I need to let myself take pain meds even if a headache isn't very bad yet, because with our migraines and stuff, that is often the only like taking it soon enough is often the only thing that will stop it from getting so bad that like nothing helps anymore or nothing helps enough and we can't do anything. And because of that, I get to treat it as a need even when the pain isn't already bad enough that I wouldn't be able to function, you know? It's like less than a week left of October, it looks like. I'm about to start the row for October 27th. Then I'm getting fairly close to being caught up. That's still warm enough to be read. To my knowledge, that would not still be a go-to treatment for PTSD, at least not for only PTSD. Like, there can be things that can cause PTSD can also cause like injury and chronic pain, where treatment overall might include pain management, which isn't always handled great. But I don't think I've ever seen anything like when I was studying psychology or any of the stuff that I do, looking into stuff on my own, or like anything that's been suggested to me by any of my doctors, for instance. I don't think I've seen anything about that being used directly to treat PTSD without other factors. I know a lot of it is therapy, and a lot of it can include like anxiety meds. And some anxiety meds can be addictive. And I guess I don't know that any of those wouldn't be in that category technically. I'm not an expert on any of that by any means. This is getting way off of what this station is supposed to be. Oh yeah, I agree. And there's a lot of like historical treatment methods of all kinds of things, not just mental health, that like looking back on it with everything that we know today is like so obviously a bad idea that we ever did that to treat those things. You know? What am I doing? 8. Wow, that was a warm day. So a few warm days in a row at the end of October. But yeah, it also turns out that brain science is hard. So it's really complicated, and there's a lot of stuff that related fields are still figuring out and still getting better at over time. And generally, society working on stigma and stuff is part of that process too. Because more people feeling comfortable enough and safe enough to get help in the first place helps doctors and everything to learn more of what does and doesn't seem to work and all that. This is also gonna be a warm day. Oh, not quite as warm, just barely. Yeah, I agree, Michael, but there's also a lot of people who don't, uh, who have been influenced enough by stigma and stuff that they also wouldn't seek help unless maybe in an emergency because they can't stand the thought of believing about themselves the things that they have been taught to believe about, like, the kind of people who need therapy, you know? Oh, first day that's cold enough. Wow. So there was a, like, a 4-day hot streak where it's the red, and then immediately after is the first day that's cold enough for the coldest color that I hadn't used yet, which is this one. Which looks very fall to me. I like it. I do have to figure out how I'm gonna do this. I guess let me see what it looks like without doubling it up, because it'd be a lot easier not to double it up. So I guess I'll try that. This yarn is a lot thinner than the other ones I've been using, but maybe it'll look okay. Like I said, it only really matters if I like it, because it's for me. Oh, I think I don't mind it. It'll be easier to tell for sure when I finish the row, so I'll get to the end of there and then decide. I still like that. Cool. I'm checking this off. Last row for October. Oh, that's definitely going to be even colder. Yeah. Sometimes I can look at it and be like, oh, if the high was the same but the low was lower, the average is definitely still low enough. Because the coldest temperature range is anything below a specific temperature, so if it's the same or lower, then I technically wouldn't really need to calculate it. But sometimes I do anyway, just for the peace of mind to know I didn't do any mental math wrong somehow. Oh, come on. Go. October's done. Pandora's trying to introduce me to a bunch of new music, but that's not what I want right now. Okay. Pretty sure that is also cold enough. Yeah. By 10 whole degrees. I'm really glad that we are doing this by season the way that we are. I think it looks really cool. Oops. How did I do that? That's definitely wrong. Where did I mess up the pattern? I think it's here. This one's that. So what is that? Six. That's what happened. Okay. That's one of the things that's really nice about patterns that have an alternating stitch. If I accidentally add or like increase or decrease the number of stitches for any reason, it would usually only be by one at a time, which is really obvious because then it's not back and forth and an even number anymore. So I'll get partway through the next row and be like, wait a second, that can't be right. Can't do two of these in a row. And then I can decide, since it's just for me, if I care enough to go back and figure out where I did the increase or decrease, or if I just want to do the opposite to like get back to the right number. So like if I increased by accident, I can just decrease in the next row and then it's fine. Okay. That looks cold too. Yep, just barely. So start the row so I know I'm in the middle of a row, then read chat. This song is making me sad. Look at how cute this yarn is. I don't know how well you can see it, but I like it. It's really like muted warm tones, which I associate with fall a lot. Oh, I was gonna skip the sad song. Maybe I should just force Pandora to do what I want by just like shuffling the already liked songs from this station or something. Because it's like aggressively trying to introduce me to a bunch of new music that it thinks is in this same category, and that's not the mood I'm in. And it's harder to like be constantly trying to skip or thumbs down songs when I'm trying to work on the scarf and talk to chat and everything else, so I might do that. I don't like that. Let's go to my collection playlists. Yeah, thumbs up from that station. Yeah, amnesia is one of those things. It can be so helpful and so harmful and has a lovely habit of often being both. Like there is a very like productive purpose to it arguably in DID, but it also causes a bunch of its own problems. How cold is that? Not cold enough. That's the pink. Where'd the pink go? What? Where'd the pink go? Okay. Okay. Mm, my body did not want me to lean over, apparently. Okay. Pink. I don't feel like there's a lot of sad songs in this playlist, but it keeps playing all of them. Or maybe just more songs sound sad right now. I don't know. No, no. That's orange. Hmm. Man, that really sucks. I feel like crap now because I leaned like halfway over once. Is this the same sad song I already skipped? Stop it. Jeez. You know what? How about we just absolutely totally shift gears? No, that doesn't mean do any of the ones that has more sad stuff in it. Do one of the ones that's like angry or something. Like that. Hi. Is it Moy was alive? Is that right? I'm not always great at pronunciations. Sorry if I got it wrong. I changed to a totally different station and it's playing another sad song that isn't even from that station. What is going on? That's very rude. This song is sad too. I guess this one is like sad hopeful, at least. I don't know. Oh, I did pronounce it right? Good. Suppose I gotta get lucky sometimes. Excuse me, thank you. I don't have any holiday songs in any of these playlists. We also have a fun thing sometimes where happy songs start sounding sad if we're already sad. So that's why I'm looking more for angry songs currently, because that's an easier transition emotionally for our brain. If it keeps playing sad songs on this station, I have a last resort that is a much shorter playlist that is specifically songs that we added to it because they're angry songs. So could always do that, but I really didn't think there were this many sad songs in this station. Oh yeah, that's a very specific genre, Cosma. That is... I feel like it's kind of like a cynical, numb genre. Dang it. I thought this song was winning me back. But I forgot about some of the lyrics. Can you be nicer to me, please? Don't think I'm asking for all that much. Wow, that hurts. Okay. That I'm no. But let's go ahead and do the anger playlist. I don't think I'm oops. I don't think I'm forgetting about any important lyrics from this playlist. I suppose we'll find out. Yeah, I calculated that already. Okay. Oh, some of these songs are gonna pull Jade. Dang it. I shouldn't do that either. Yeah, that's the issue with this one. I knew there was gonna be something. Okay. Well then what? Yeah, I get that. I'm open for ideas, Josh. What do I listen to? Are the first few songs okay? Literally the first two before I'd have to skip one. Oh, there's only one I have to skip. Okay, it might be fine. Why is that the clean version of that song? Is only the clean version on here? Why? Oh well. I'm on this one. Did I? Right, okay. Love this song. Okay, don't forget to skip the song that comes after this. Not triggering Jade out right now. We typically don't share the exact music we're listening to since so much of it can be triggers, and we don't tend to share our triggers publicly, or even very often privately for that matter. Oh my god. Genre is like hard rock for the most part. Yeah, any big life-changing decisions can be hard in a system. I feel like it's probably very, very common for big decisions to not be literally unanimous in systems. And each system has to kind of figure out how they're going to handle that. Because if all of them won't agree on anything, you still kind of have to make decisions. So you have to figure out like again each system individually because it can look different. Shit. Didn't stop the song in time. Sorry. Sorry. Let me know if you need to stop. Oops. Um, I don't want to have to stop. Might have to though. This is how far we've gotten on fall so far. Probably around half of it, maybe a little bit more, is from the stream. And then this is the summer section. This is the spring section in pastels. Oh, I messed that up at some point. Oops. And this is the winter section that was at the beginning. Okay. Oops. Not that one. I wish people weren't so hateful online. I might have to stop. I don't know if we will stream tomorrow or not. if we do, it would be a gaming stream. But we might shoot for just Saturday and Sunday instead, because I think tomorrow is another like bonus replacement one. But if we're up for it, maybe we'll try to do that anyway to replace one of the ones we missed earlier in the week. And or in case we don't feel up to it, either Saturday or Sunday or both. We'll see. I don't think there's literally anything that I could learn about someone that would make me comfortable, like, asserting for a fact that they were faking. Including if they, like, said they were faking. Because of the way this disorder works with denial and stuff like that. There are a bunch of systems who are not faking who are often like scared that they are by accident somehow, or like as an amnesia mechanism could like use that as an out to try to like as a way to like untell the host about the system or whatever. Or like if a persecutor wanted to like hurt the system by getting the internet to lash out at them by saying that they were fake. Like, it's just all kinds of stuff. And I just don't think it's helpful or productive. Even if I felt really sure for whatever reason. It does so much harm, obviously, if you're wrong, but it does like community-wide harm, even if that specific system is faking. So those are my thoughts on that. I am gonna wrap it up. Thanks for hanging out and talking some. We'll see what we're up for streams and stuff coming up. So keep an eye on stuff, keep your notifications on, all that. And we'll see if we can get back in the swing of things, at least somewhat. But we're also not going to force ourselves to do things when we're not up for it. Yeah. Yeah, so thanks again for hanging out. Bye.